this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And if that light go out, then I'm replacing mine. I can't give up, no, I can't give in. Got so much fight within, I must win. There's no holding back, gotta go all in. 2 steps forward, no steps back, then repeat again. Sometimes you gotta let go and let God. Respect those who work hard, it's teamwork, play your part. And if you got doubt,
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of For Your Inspiration. And before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that we are really excited about what we're about to do with TMI. We've had some big things happen for us, and I'm going to let my dad actually go into those things a little later in today's episode. But today, as you saw on the screen, we're going to be talking about the foundation of change. And when it comes to foundation of change, there are 4 things that we must realize that must take place in order to get that change that we want in our life. The first thing that we must understand when it comes to making that change in our life, we have to develop a plan. So many times we want to go out there and change different aspects of our lives, but we go out there, we don't have a plan. We're basically just wandering around trying to see with this working, with that work. And what I've learned is that's not going to work. That's not how change happens. Change has to be strategic. Change has to be planned. If we don't plan our change, it's going to be very difficult for that change to happen in our lives. We have to make sure that the steps that we're taking are going to help us get to the goal that we're trying to get to. We're going to have to make sure that the steps that we're taking are strategic. We're going to have to make sure that they're calculated steps, and that we do the best that we can do to get to those to get to that change that we're trying to get to. We have to understand that change starts with making a plan, sitting down, whatever the change is we want to make in our life, whether it's a career change, whether it's a major change, whether it's a change in whatever we're trying to do in life. We have to make a big decision in our life. We must understand that we must sit down and have a conversation with ourselves and evaluate the plan that we're going to take, evaluate what steps that we're going to take in order to help us get to whatever we're trying to get to. There's so many people out there that do not like what's going on in their life. And I'm here to tell you today, the reason that you don't like it is because you haven't made a change. You continue to do the same thing over and over again, and you're getting the same results. I'm here today to tell you, you have to change. But the first thing you must do in order to change, you have to make a plan.
You've seen that you needed to change. There's a foundation for your change. You've made a plan. But the next step after you make a plan, you've got to prepare. You got to have some preparation. Oh man, nobody likes to prepare. They just like to go right into it. But because you have recognized that this is your foundation of change, you are now in that preparation stage. And when you're in that preparation stage, there's something that you got to look for. You got to look out for. You got to get ready for the people. Yeah, the family, the friends, the co-workers, the people that are around you, the people that talk to you, the people that are putting things in your ear. You've got to get ready for them, because listen, somebody's got to catch this today, because when you start changing, there begins a separation period of the people. Some of the people that's been hanging with you will not be able to handle you in your change. So you got to get ready for the people. But then not only do you have to get ready for those people, you also have to get ready for the pain. Oh, the pain is going to come from the separation, but also the pain is going to come from the new things that you're about to experience, the new things that your body is going through, the new things that you're going to get to because you are ready to make a change. You've got to understand there's certain cravings that your body has. Oh, okay, let's look at it like this. When you were on a diet and you were trying to stay away from certain foods, that chocolate cake or that banana pudding that you like, you got to understand that your body craves those things, but if you go back to those things, somebody got to catch this today. If you go back to those things, that is going to slow you up from changing. So you've got to get ready for the people. You've got to get ready for the pain, but then you also got to get ready for the passage. Oh man, the passage that you're getting ready to go through, only a few people are able to get through it, and you have been selected, you've been chosen as the one that's going to go through the passage of change. When you go through this passage, you've got to understand you're getting ready to experience something you've never experienced before. You're going to start feeling a way that you've never felt before, because this change moves stuff around, moves people out of your life, moves things and situations away from you. You've got to get to the point that when you go through this passage, everybody else will not be able to stay on board, because this change is just for you.
We have to look at our priorities, and yes, we have to get our priorities in order. And the first thing we have to do, we have to get rid of all the distractions. ourselves. You have to prioritize you. You don't have to worry about what he is saying. Don't worry about what she is saying, because the goal, the change that you're trying to get to in your life has nothing to do with them. You're not changing for them. You're changing for you. So it's important that you realize that you prioritize yourself. So you got to get rid of the phone. You got to get rid of social media. You got to get rid of the television. You got to get rid of the laptop and the computer. You got to get rid of, sometimes you have to get rid of some of those relationships in your life and prioritize yourself, because it's all about you. And when you prioritize yourself, then you can track your progress, and ultimately you can prioritize your progress and see where you're at and look and see, it's been a month. Am I where I'm supposed to be after a month? It's been 2 months. Am I where I'm supposed to be after 2 months? And you can prioritize your progress. You have to understand that once you get your priorities in order, a lot of the things are going to fall in line. A lot of things are going to fall in place. Your change is your priority. That's what you're trying to get to. You got to think about it like this. You're not trying to change for nobody else. You're trying to change for yourself. And if you're worried about others, then that's going to stop you. That's why you have that plan. You go and you look back at that plan and it tell you, I was supposed to take this step. I was supposed to take that step. But guess what? When you get sidetracked, because we will get sidetracked, you have that plan that you can pick up and say, okay, I took too many steps to the left, so let me take a couple steps back right. So I'm here to tell you guys, if you want to actually get to that change that you're trying to get to, you got to prioritize all those things that's going to help you get there. Nobody can really tell you what you're trying to do with yourself except for you. So you know what you have to do in order to get there. So it's up to you to prioritize those things in your life. So if you got to change your priorities so you can then prioritize your progress. Look at it this way. Priorities propel performance. If you look at the greatest athletes, if you look at the doctors, the lawyers, and everything like that, when they got those priorities in line, when they set their mind to do something, whether it was Jordan or Kobe or LeBron or anybody trying to get better at their game, when they prioritize free throws, when they prioritize jump shots, when they prioritize three-point shots, when they prioritize whatever it is that they needed to take their game to the next level, guess what? Their game went to the next level. So whenever you prioritize that next step in your life, whenever you prioritize whatever it is that you know is going to get you to that next step, then your performance overall is going to skyrocket. So you have to take time to prioritize yourself and prioritize your progress. Understand that when you prioritize things, that's going to propel your performance. You have to understand that no matter what anybody else says, it does not matter, because this is all about you. We could care less about what the other person next to you is saying. So you're going to have to weed out some of those. You're going to have to weed out some of those distractions and understand that the priority is all up to you. You have to prioritize what you know you have to prioritize, because you know what it's going to take to get you where you're trying to get to.
You've made your plans, you've made your preparations, and you've even set your priorities. And in this foundation of change, there's one final step, and that is the process. We all have to go through the process when we're getting ready to change. And let me tell you something about that process. Sometimes the process is hard. Sometimes the process is difficult. Sometimes the process looks like you will never get to getting to the end of it. But the process is also fair. If you put in the work, if you put in the time, you can get through the process. Listen, this is what the process will do. The process sometimes is so difficult that it will break you. It will break you down. It will knock you to your knees. And this is where you really see if you want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough to where you will get up off the mat, you'll get up off your knees and go back and get right back up into the process, because you're tired of where you came from and you know where you are is not the end. You got to go all the way through the process in order for you to complete your change. So go through the process, no matter how hard it is, no matter whether they say you can make it or not. They're not on this journey with you. They're not in the process with you. And I guarantee you, I will guarantee you this, that once you get through this process, once you get through all the pain and everything that you had to go through, you'll look in your rearview mirror and you will see how far you've made it, that you made it through the process. Hey everybody, we are working on a book. That's what's kept us in our hiatus. We are working on the TMI Inspiration book. We've called it Inspiration According to TMI, and we want you to get that copy when it comes out. So be on the lookout for TMI's inspirational book called Inspiration According to TMI. And as always, you can never get too much inspiration.